Let's turn to the news now. Following the mass shooting at Michigan State University last month, Michigan Democrats in the state legislature are moving quickly to advance a gun safety package with their new complete control of state government. The package hits on so-called common sense gun reforms that a majority of Michiganders appear to agree with, according to a recent poll. The legislation includes safe storage penalties for gun owners whose firearms end up in the hands of minors, universal background checks for all gun purchases in Michigan, and red flag laws for those who pose a risk to themselves or others. All Michigan Democrats are likely to support the legislation, but it also has support from former Republican Congressman Dave Trott and Fred Upton. And they join us now. Thanks very much for being on the show this morning.
With us, Fred. It's great to see you again, man. It has been too long. You know, we talk about it all the time on the show, that I know there are going to be some NRA people that are going to say, oh, they're going after Second Amendment rights, and oh, it's this, oh, it's that. The fact is, Fred, the overwhelming majority of people in the NRA support universal background checks, support red flag laws, support the things this legislation does.
Well, you're exactly right, Joe. And both Dave and I are supporters of the Second Amendment. But you know what? After Parkland, we saw your former governor, I don't know if you still live in Florida or not, but Ron DeSantis signed the red flag law into law. Bingo. Indiana, Mitch Daniels, Mike Pence, current governor, they all support the red flag law. 19 states have it. There's due process. And it's that type of thing that we need to try and curb some of these mass shootings that continue virtually every single day. But there's some other things that we ought to do, too. You know, every member of Congress has a cell phone. And guess what? If there's an active shooter, we get an Amber Alert right away for an active shooter. A lot of students at Michigan State a couple weeks ago had that, but other folks, maybe professors, maybe folks in the neighborhood, small business people, didn't have that signal, and maybe we would have saved some lives and gotten that guy a little bit earlier.
Dave Trott, it's nice to hear that from former Congressman Upton. But my question to you is, why does it seem that the bulk of the Republican Party, the party that you represented in Congress, the bulk of the Republican Party is adamant against the most common sense, easiest aspects to help people out in terms of gun safety, universal registration, stuff like that? What's the deal there?
Oh, I think it's no doubt. Go ahead, Fred.
Go ahead.
I think it's
one of you take a shot. No pun intended.
It's no doubt a result of the power that the NRA and other gun groups have over the legislature and our members. And it's unfortunate because if the NRA and other gun groups took a minute to read these bills, there are 11 bills in total. They are all very thoughtful. You know, the safe storage bill, for example, has a number of exemptions and exclusions, and in no way infringes on our Second Amendment rights. So it's just a knee-jerk reaction. And for me, what's offensive is every time there's a mass shooting, our lawmakers step to the microphones and say, oh, it's not a gun safety issue, it's a mental health issue. Well, we're not doing such a great job of addressing our nation's mental health problems, and so we better try something else.
So former Congressman Upton, related topic, former President Trump, we were talking about him earlier today, appearing at CPAC this week in many ways. Polls suggest still very much his party, despite all that has happened. And he, of course, has come out as a very strong supporter of the NRA and opposes most of this sort of legislation. What do you make of where the Republican Party stands right now? And do you see any hope on the horizon that it could sort of cleave itself from Donald Trump?
Well, a couple things. First of all, as you look at gun legislation, I think that even though we in the House passed last year a red flag bill, there are not a lot of Republicans, I was among them, that supported it, but it died in the Senate. And I think the prospects in this Congress are pretty dim, particularly as we head towards the 24 election. You know, as we look at the presidential election and jockeying of all the different candidates that are there for Trump, obviously, the more that get in, the more the merrier for him. There were 17 folks that got in 2016, and he's continued his lock on 30 or 35% of that vote on the Republican primary, majority still have a very positive impression on him. And if you see Pence and Nikki Haley and Tim Scott and others get in, the better chance that he has. So he still has a grip on our party, and we'll see where it takes us. He's going to be at CPAC here in Washington this weekend. A number of the other candidates, DeSantis and others, are avoiding it. But if they all get in, guess what? He's going to win the primary.
Congressman, what would it take, and I'm going to ask both of you this, what would it take to have a politically palatable next step background check gun legislation go through Congress? Let's go to you. Okay. Sorry.
One thing that would help is if members recognize the overwhelming support for these common sense measures. I think while the Republican members feel pressure from the NRA and other gun groups, I mean, for example, one gun group in Michigan has already indicated that any member of the legislature that supports any of these bills will be subject to a recall. And people in the legislature and in Congress, for that matter, need to understand that the risk of doing nothing probably poses a greater threat to their job security than offending the NRA at this point. And if that happens, then you'll see some bipartisan work on gun legislation.
All right, former Congressman Dave Trott and Fred Upton, thank you both very much for being on the show this morning. It's good to see you both.